This is Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. We enthuse, we energize, we inspire, and we empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes in BW and beyond. Hello, Dumelang. Welcome to another episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe here. I'm as excited as ever to bring you yet another exciting, informative episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. We're going to talk about the business of clothing, the business of retail, and how it works here. And as usual, I normally leave it to my guests to introduce themselves. But before I do that, can I please ask you to strike that subscribe button and to hit the notification bell? And as well, feel free to comment down below on what we are sharing and to ask any questions. And if you are the sort of person who wants to interact with us in the form of maybe wanting us to speak to an audience that you may have, or to share some ideas, feel free, interact with us. That's what we are about here. That's what we are all about. We are here to enthuse, energize, and inspire, as we always say. Thato Rosemary Sabokone. Or something, I don't know.
Thank you, sir.
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Would you be kind enough to share your background and a little bit about yourself with the audience?
Yeah. Kibitswa Thato Rosemary Sabokone. Ke ngwanyana ko Tonota.
Yes.
Ke goletse ko Tonota. Ke tsene sekolo sa Mesoti from Madisa Kwana le Tlhabile Shashe. Fully ko Tonota.
Yes.
Ke ngwanyana ko Tonota tota. Era. I'm just 28 years. I'm a young girl. And I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businesswoman. I love business a lot from young age. Started way back from poetry up to today where I am. Not that I've left it. It's still there. So I grew up really in love with business. I was inspired by my grandmother. I grew up Lerumo, like me Lerumo, Aroka, making money, taking care of me. Yeah, so she's the one who really inspired me. Yes.
And educationally? Tertiary wise?
Tertiary, yeah. Nigezana school ko Boto University, doing accounts. Yes, sir. I'm still a student. I'm doing part-time.
What are you studying now?
Accounts.
Oh, I see. ACC something.
No, basing in accounting.
Oh.
In 2018, I had a setback. I'm a mother, so I had to choose a bit. And I was like, let me have these kids first, and I'll go and finish up. So now I'm done with that. I'm doing my part-time studies in Boto, my last semesters. Yes.
Okay. How did the entrepreneurship bug bite you? In other words, you're inspired by your grandmother. I understand that, but how did it transfer to you, as it were?
Yeah, growing up, seeing your mother, like my grandmother was really, really a hard worker. She would sew at an amodi competition in the and I could see the zeal in her. It's just that there was no growth. Where you have this inspiration to become big, there was nothing of that sort. And then I felt, you know what, it is me who should take their dream and run with it. Was to really make money. But because we were there growing up, they had to take care of us. For a lot of they had customers, they had clients. They took number one in a lot of competitions. Baroka. So all that thing, it's like, you know.
Yeah.
So then I felt in me that you're born. if my grandmother is a businesswoman, I believe it's in my DNA. So I loved business. I neke na ke ba thusa go roka yana. So ha ba bata mongwa ba duela ba romana. Te go tswana ke tsoro wa go ta ka one. So I go there. We ke molela gore tsore ke tata today ke tswa ha ka madi a bomme. So I'll get the money, go back home. So that is where everything started.
What was your debt collection technique?
I didn't take no for an answer. Yes, I'll tell them, you've been coming. My grandmother have been coming to you. Ntsore keta. The word keta, ha ke sa tlhole ke le bata. Ke bata o duele go nana ke go hamme madi. Because to be honest, that is how I grew up. They were taking care of me. So, go rala gore ha ke sa yo tsa madi ko mosadi mogolong yo kolota nyole. Go rala ha ke na madi a stap. Wa bona? Go ha ke na madi a moriri, go ha ke na madi a spagam. So I had to really ensure gore ngolo mongwe a duela gore ke te ke sharing ya na mileng.
Yes. That makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Now, there's this idea of little lovers. Can you please explain the name?
Little lovers. One day I was just in the office with one of the accountant. I was telling her, you know, we're just sitting down, making random names, putting them down. And then she just said, why don't you just call it Little Lovers? It was not my name. It was hers. And I sat down and I'm like, yeah, ne? Because really we only deal with kids 0 to 14 years. And then I feel like it is the name. Little Lovers. Let's love our kids in a different manner. We've heard from generation to generation, same thing, trending. But I wanted to bring a unique trend. I wanted to bring something new. So then I thought Little Lovers would do. Yes.
Okay. What was the idea when you say let's give them something new? Can you please articulate the idea a bit more so we can understand?
Yeah. I'm a mother. I have a boy and I have 2 boys actually and 1 girl. So hantse na go ntse tswelela ke ne ke feel gore from year to year ha ke tsana mo shopong I find so last year kante why go sna change like 10 years back ke so since le teng today why go sa nne le phetoga go tswa ha kwa Francistown same thing. So the be ke tswa joining ke te ke ipolela gore I've spent, you know, ke tsentse madinyana mo go bongwana ke a tonota ka bona ha ke tsena kwa ba tshwana la batho go tonota. There is no difference. So we give feel like, you know what, with this one I want something different from him. So that's where it started. And then I kept on looking.
You're expecting at the time?
Yes, I was expecting. Something beautiful. Two-piece so I waited. I remember until just a few.
Okay. What's your original idea? Where do you source the clothes? And I mean, is your original idea to import clothing, a different type of clothing, and distribute in Botswana? Define it in those terms, what the original idea was.
Truly speaking, the original idea was, like I said to you, was to bring something new. You know, I call it a new fantasy world. If you have ever had these fantasies of how you want to look at your kids, if you are a father, like you are a father, and Christmas time you want to have the set of items, that fantasy that we always want, that is what I wanted to bring. And I had to go back and say, luckily on Facebook, most of the time. So I met this page, a Chinese company. What did
the page show?
Different items. And I was so interested in buying. Unfortunately, I couldn't buy. It would tell me you are in a zone ga re shipele. So I then wrote them an email. If somebody wants to buy from you, and then they responded likely same day. Do you want to buy one or would you care to buy a lot from us? Is it possible? But yes, we are looking for distributors, people who are willing to take our business and our items and distribute. Yeah, I am definitely interested in that. That's when now everything started. I started communicating with them, talking about my country, the setbacks that I see, from their side. They would talk to me. And then at a certain point, they asked me to say, we understand you do not qualify, but for the sake of you, the zeal that you have, let us try you. Buy as much as you can, samples, so that you our quality, where you are in your country. Would you love this? And I brought it. I bought the first stock. I remember na kwa thinking ke sa utse ke bo 5 point something. Be ke reka hela ka madi a tengoti. Be di box tsa teng di goroga. Ha di goroga so ke bitsa the ladies ba di tsala tsa me gore ba ta go bona. Everybody wanted to buy. Be ke bona gore it's nice go ba komela than to give them, you know. Be ke ba ra ke no, I'm not selling. Just bring people to come and see. So never tama but hey la go thato kana gona le dilwana tse di tileng ha re sure o simola o rekisale a re tsama o le ka o reserve, you know. So they would come bata go bona but ba sa reki ntse go ompele mo ke ga ngwana ke, you know, because ne ke bata go utlwa di comment tsa bone in regard to the quality, to the styles and everything. So they would give me that feedback. The feedback they gave me allowed me to buy again stock. This time around, Mr.
The supplier?
No, my partner.
Yeah.
Mr. Hoa down take a last stock sing. Hale kerekile sample ya AJ, kwata horeka AJ. I want to see quality yote kabotalo from small babies to banaba baton, le batwa baton.
Yes.
So I ban take a stock around 13,000. I still called them, but I born. So all this time around, I accumulate the stock. I took the whole year. 5,000, 10,000. I didn't buy the whole stock. You know what? I wouldn't want to sell one. You know, like I told you that I'm a farmer. So I used to sell 111. So but basa dueli. They would want it, but basa dueli. Even this ones So I didn't want that anymore. So we get my partner, you know what? Even though the whole idea at first was shoponyan. Small shop. And then feedback about to hindse ta but this thing is to manifest it to be something big. I went to another lady. Can you please train me financially? I can't do it. The following day she went to church. That woman with the idea of a shop. God is telling me that I should tell you that He's giving you a go ahead. It will become.
Was it like a prophet?
Yes, a church. Nothing.
And they came straight and said that to you?
Said to her, the lady, she's a married woman. Can you please come join me? Can you join me? I get to Anna lady doubting Yana Kanaya. So Sunday when she went to church, her pastor is the one who prophesied on her to say, God is telling me that you should go ahead. That project will become. So that is where it started. That is one thing that energized me, that if God spoke, who am I? And when I thought maybe God just spoke, my aunt called me and said, God spoke again. And I'd be like, it means God is speaking. It means this will become. And then that's when now I started buying.
It's like you're getting validation from heaven.
Yes, definitely.
Now let me understand this. What was it about these clothes as they came in from China? And, you also saw them in catalogs. What was it so special about them?
The trend. It's nothing that we have here. Like I said, that I'm a mother. Like, I so we buy things to be honest. It's so expensive. So quality, it's so nice, it's good. Compare but the price is affordable. So that was mainly the reason why I had to go for it. The fact that its quality is much better. The styles are nothing that we have here in Botswana. Other shops do have. But not that much. Different styles, UK styles, USA styles. They don't just trend guy. You know that we use South African styles. You know that. Here in Botswana.
We buy from South Africa.
So at least they do have different styles for different countries. They have UK, USA, so it means I'll have variety of styles in my shop than to have only one. Yeah, we want something new.
So where was this supplier in China, and did you actually go to China?
Yes, sir. This brand is a United States of America brand, but is manufactured in China fully. So I contacted them.
In China or in the US?
In China. Go manufacturing plant. You know, when you want to go big, when you want to order large numbers, you gotta go see where it's being produced. You gotta go see your manufacturers. For warehouse, you know, we have heard stories some China bardeta. So ke ne ke batla go reka stock se sentse ya nong ke sa bate go ikithela ile gore ke motswana o iste madi go sele. So I wrote them gore ke batla go ta ko China, ke batla go bona go bateng their offices. And
when was this?
It was in May
of what?
This year, 2023.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I talked to them ka phone and emails the whole of last year and that other year. So ntse re bua la ka di mail e le go ba tumelwa gore modimo everything will go accordingly. Ha gona mo go teng selwana sa me ha se go goroga. So I traveled to China in May. Ke tsamaile ke le one. I was so scared.
Who was Mr.?
I said Natho.
Yeah, okay.
Natho. He would have loved to go with me. Unfortunately, Natho.
And somebody had to be with the kids also.
Yeah, definitely. So I had to travel by myself. Mind you, I had.
Was it?
Yeah. Everything was new to me. Like, everything was new. Yes. Like, so I went. But I took myself through. Like, I I'll do that until and then I booked in. Which
province was it?
Guangzhou.
No, it's in Guangzhou, where there's main.
Yes. But their offices are in Shenzhen. Unfortunately, my agent, when I'm booking the flight and everything, made a mistake. But I want to believe that was God. Yes. It was planned by God, not by me.
Why do you say that?
Because God wanted me to see a lot of things that I've never seen. Him knowing my mind, how it absorbs everything and expand and want to make sure that it fits into all those things, Guangzhou was the place for me to be.
Wow.
So when I got there, the first 2 days, it was a bit difficult, but those guys sat me down and said, the only way for you to master China is when you master the metro train and the intercity train. So I had to master that, so that ke kgone go ya Xinjiang however I want, ke kgone go ya Guangdong however I want. So I had to master the lines. So the first 2 days ne ke dirisa the metro, ke fologa ke pagama, most it's cheap. It's way cheaper. So ne ke sa spend sepe se sentse, so I had to master all those things so that every meeting wa rena isimolola ke ska ka tsenya ga dingalo. So then we met, I went to Guangdong. Warehouse I went to see
where they actually manufacture.
Yes, so I went to see all those things. Where the manufacturer quality check almost all those things. The picky one thing taught me almost everything. Showed me section we understand that you are going to be our first online store in Botswana. So we want to teach you how all this thing starts. Like the background, you are definitely going to have this, but it's also
yeah.
So we wanna show you the stages thing. So they showed me every stage, until wanna silwana ko hangering.
Wow.
But bana di hangara, but nyamo plastic nge ba shipa. So Little Lovers is their first offline store.
Outside China.
Outside China, even in the world.
Oh, okay.
We are the first to open offline store.
How did you convince them to trust you with their brand?
I went to them, I talked to them, we sat down, I showed them potential in our country. When I got to Guangzhou, like I said to you, I want to believe that was God. I was asking myself, everybody who comes here, why don't they go the route that I went? Because it seems like China is the place to be if you want growth, if you are a business person, if you love business. It is the place to be. And you learn a lot of things when you are there. It's not like no, we have partners. So I really got inspired when I was there. And I really I sat them down for quite some time. China agreement when I got here, I had to get a lawyer because I could see potential. So the whole thing, I'm going to get the best out of this negotiation. And I got it.
What is the role of the lawyer in this case?
She was helping me get what I want. You know, Chinese, babotali. But again, they have their own thing. They're very smart, and they have their cockiness somewhere down the line. So I knew if I'm to play this card, I need somebody else to back me. Who understand the molao tota. So she would tell me, reverse. So we'd go online. Go online on the agreement, even on the pricing. We started off by production in Kaboena, but all under us, right? Would give you the prices of production. We sat down and let's have their retail. We discount from their own retail. For us to get a better offer, let's discount from their retail. Because mind you, with clothing,
you mean they had their wholesale price and retail price?
Yeah, they had to enter Miko wholesale, like Banana, Baridirela, our own wholesale. For us, specifically for us.
Yes. Because
we are going to go offline, so it means our own purchasing is not the same as others.
Yes.
So harreka stock se taseli short. So re stock sa winter, summer, Christmas, Valentine, se caterer. So website is on tshware be na le do tsotlhe.
Yeah.
So my lawyer, her duty was to make sure gore molao o mpaka ha tseleng e siameng ka teng ke se ka ikithela ke le mo dikgoleng. Yes, that was her duty.
In this retail market, what I've noticed is that they, like you mentioned, these things are seasonal. and somehow they are tied to fashion weeks all over the world. Is this one also part of that?
Yes.
What fashion week? Shanghai Fashion Week? How, do you display on there, or how does it work?
No. With us, you mean our fashion trend?
Yes.
Actually, ka gore ke bone ba designer. Nna ke tsena hela ke itlela selwana se dirilwe. Then I choose my styles. Bisa production. That's where I come. So ke itlela gore di fashion tsotlhe di dirilwe. Nna ke ithusetsa gore at this particular time, this is what I love. So maloba ha re dira stock, I just didn't want to do it kilo one. So I called numerous people to come and help me so that gonne fashion taste e sa tshwane. So that ke ska ikitela gore ke rata do tsehela kilo one. You know gore we are more than 100 samples. Tse re di tsenya mo teng ga shop. Ha ke re sampling ke raya gore our target is over 100.
100 what?
Mothers or children.
Yes.
We do sampling like hela ka le go batho ba statistics ba ira palo batho ba ira. Le how bila shop was the same thing. Ware I'll be looking for 200 mothers to come. What would be their taste? You don't just buy. O balela palo ya batho yo yakanyetsa gore mo 200 to 20 karata senane, 50 karata senane, 100 ka karata senane. That's how you do it. Go ka how address a market wa ga go ka te. How lebelo re ngwana re lebella re mothers because bana ba rena kana ba rekela like the mothers and their fathers. So you take a group.
Are you both an online and offline store?
Fully offline store. You know, when you begin something new, it's new. And I've seen Batswana bata by then the post on Facebook. But
by word of mouth.
Yes, by word of mouth. Because shopo, she was just passing busigo hela ibila se sho gore go hale go a heta ba batho ke bata dithako. That's how it started. She was our first customer. Gorala len ha tsama ba tsama yo bolela gore gona le shop e bulwang ko 10 right mall. It has some nice stuff.
Where's the location again?
10 right. 10 right mall.
Where is that?
Along Khaban Road. Yes.
Okay.
So ile haribula, yeah. We had a positive feedback. They thought gore bane ba re gono go bula Phepo o mo China. A re bula ba botsa gore mo China shop o kae? Ha se mo China ke nna because I was the employee ke ne ka tsana go nyana go tirong ka nna mo teng ga shop ka make sure it
gets established.
Yes.
Now, as we're talking, it's been running for how long?
Now I think it's in April, May, June, July, August. It's been 5 months.
So it's spanking brand new, eh?
Yes.
What did you say are the biggest challenges for a new business? Or if there are any setbacks, what are the setbacks you've suffered?
Okay. Like I said, clothing, retail. Ebata o lebeletse target ya batho ba bantsi ha e batho o lebeletse 10. So mind you na gwela ha ke reka di sample ne ke sa reke di sample for 100 people, ne ke reka di sample for 10 people, 12 people. So obegi ke like in a situation whereby because of that ha ke khone go hitella the entire people or my entire customers ba me ha ba tsana mo teng ga shop because of finances. E bata madi tota se madinyana like
so
literally.
It's capital intensive.
Yes. How ka lebella our competitors how tsena mo shopong ya bona o ta bo ipotsa gore why shop e stokile ka stokile. It is normal. It's done so that now ngwana wa niye la ha ke tsena ke ithela selwana sa me lo o 3 years e ra tsena ba ithela selwana se ska sa hela ka bonako. So ke ne ka ikithela ke in a situation whereby all sizes were done in 2 months.
Sold.
Go re tseleng go di customer di a di bata tota were sold out in 2 months. And ebe ke feel gore hey o itse re hanne ke ne ke dirile stock se stona I get ne ke leka ke batla go bona ra me go taya
You're testing the market.
I was testing the market like they wanted me to. And unfortunately ne ba setse ba ntswaletse kwa nte kana you have to buy, then they close you out, and then you come as a dealership now.
What does
going
close you
big
out mean?
They allow you into the wholesale to buy o market ba bona ora me go a rekela. From then they remove you out. Then for you to now buy fully, you have to be in the dealership, whether you start with $50,000 or $100,000, 150 or 200,000 US. That's how they do it. So where we are right now, we are supposed to be going into the dealership. Yes.
Now, do they give you credit or it's strictly cash?
It's strictly cash.
Is that a challenge?
Yes, it is a challenge. It is a challenge.
Why?
To find money of that nature, it's difficult. It's a long journey. It's a long journey.
Does the stock come in containers or bales, or how does it work?
It comes in containers. Yes, it comes in containers. Because oreka stock sa ngwaga, ga o reke stock sa kgwedi. So that actually the agreement that we made for it to really favor us. Offline stores are very expensive. Mind you, we have rentals, and our rentals are a bit high in Botswana, like literally. All business people will tell you that rental. So we had to really negotiate a better offer, like literally a better offer, so that we can have the profiting and delay, you know. But the whole thing was to have the stock so to benefit that discount. And because how I got $50,000 discount that thing in the 20%. Yes, and that was not enough for me.
You needed what, 30, 40?
I got 70%.
70%.
Yes, I fought it.
How did you manage that? That's unbelievable.
Like I said to you, you remember what I get him? The price of production. I didn't believe them. Like I told you, my China very, very intelligent. So Lena had to be intelligent. I said, so any price it's a retail, let's discount them for me. For Lena price in your production. So I knew when I production around 20% ya our spend our spending for production. That's what I thought. 20%. The experience that I had, I remember Niketsamaya in the streets of Ganzu, the mall that I had to go the mall on Zaban. The leggings thing I get at a very expensive shop here in Botswana. Like kids or get a quality thought. He did DJ 11 yen. So I was so touched.
The difference was huge.
The difference was so huge. So when I got home, got the link. We get it. Hello, what a quality. Yes, Solana Sally. Me Koko has to go manufacturing. Kiko distributing from the manufacturer
or like factory shops.
Go to factory shop. So Gary, hello, go factory shop on 11 yen. Manufacturing, it's way lesser than that. I'm gonna work production. So why they give me what I want?
Very, very smart.
Yes. So I fought and fought and fought until they gave me what I wanted. Yes.
Still on the challenges, you had what I would call a good problem, which is running out of stock fast, which means you had a lot of sales. What did you do when you had that good problem, when you ran out of stock in 2 months?
Actually, by then, our main reason for us then to open Shop Happy was into the financing program, right? So the unfortunate part,
financing program mean approach banks.
Yes, it's very expensive to do. Like madi, amant, madi. So we found ourselves in that challenge. My partner was my co-financer. Even I got a loan for me to push this.
So why do
an FNB loan.
Yes. Okay.
I'm an employee. Employee, no longer an employee. Yes. So I had.
It started off as a side hustle. Now it's the main hustle.
Yes. I remember ha ke a loan ne ke na le kgwedi e one e kileng ya goga e be madi a bounce a ke tswa hakologela early last year hale madi a change like morokotso wa government o change.
Yeah,
you remember.
Yeah, interest rates went up.
Yes. Ne ke rata go tlogela loan madi a lekaneng. So ile tsena be ba on sa ithalela gore madi a shotanyana. And then like ile go iragetse ke le ko FNB e be motho na nthusa nthare a top up ka madi a shotang bo ba wa duela. So I remember ha ke bata loan ya bobedi. You know, it was difficult. Go tekana go hale loan ne e bounce itse ke
kana one mistake.
Loan ne e bounce itse. Guess what? I went home and I said, God, I did not begin this. It was you who said it. So make it happen. I remember I left the house. People had this problem. We had a lot of our clients in a situation because no one had that change of
sudden increase.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Mutuse, they helped me. And that's we good. Began the process. And then my partner, he owns a company, so he then started now to say, let me help you. From rentals to full leads him. At the moment, I sustain so that
I hope you're making enough profit to pay him back.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I have to really work hard so that I do that. Yes.
I mean, why shouldn't you be on your own feet when the demand for the product is so high? Why do you still need to be subsidized by the master?
Like I said, our rentals are a bit high, and like I said, the first 2 months, 3 months, like decides the deal. Calculate lovers. Stock was a thing, harna size. We have beautiful stuff, high quality stuff. So people would come, hey, let me come and check it if slete. So they bought it. The size ka bunti di tsamaile, so itlalang wa re setse ka di size tse bo 5 or 6 ya ka gampe.
Does it take long for you to replenish, to get new stock, to replenish the one that is being sold?
Mind you, stock was a shop, so it was around Hagisimola. Listening is accumulated, it was around 165 for me to begin.
1,000 pula.
Yeah, the whole idea was open rate financing because we know we needed a lease for us to borrow money. So we fought re tsenye kupa rona kore hela re nile le di delay hale but my partner keeps the company running so that kore hela people never tell us the truth when it comes to business. Wakhetha you hela ka molimi wa lema o bonna ho hape o nyaha go o ntsamhero we kata o batla o make sure gore
that's a very good analogy,
right? Ibile se ka ya so no hello re gidito gate di a chelwa so that di khona go baya. Even business is the same way.
Yeah,
you don't expect to make profit in the first 2 months. Yes, unless hello we itse gore ke invest le ka large amount. To invest, you incur such things. At times so khona go tsenya madi a matona we kitela gore demand ka nako eo ha ya goroga ka nako yo no e beile, right?
Yeah
ka rona we didn't think we would have that turnover. Like we didn't think in the first 2 months we would have a lot of feet coming in. Also ne re sa post re sa ring re simotso post and shop e but the feet were too much because we would keep on asking, did you see us on Facebook? And they're like, no, we just saw the shop. That's why we are here. Mind you, we sell to as far as milk, like a size 26, Infacare, Riksa Mashaban.
Okay,
Yes.
that's why now maybe there's a chance to just share the entire product offering from start to finish.
Yeah. We actually have clothing, shoe section, toiletries, melora bana, the lotion it's abana, hamara, all those things. We do have a bernale section here, body earbud, the cotton, all those things. Bernale section here, the jotabana. The drinking, mashi, we all have those things. So
So you can have food side by side with clothing in one shop.
Yes. Yes.
The license is wide enough to cover
yes. Yes. Body sweetie, purity, nestam, do closed. Yes.
Why did you decide to diversify to food from clothing?
I wanted to make a one-stop shop for Motswana woman. Hey, Rasokola, believe you me. Nige sokola, nige khona go tswa jwaneng ka checkase ke bata mashi.
So it's the same company that supplies the clothing?
No.
Oh.
No. Tse dingwe tse ke di tsaya mo Botswana.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Yes. They
Tell me
actually
the thinking
allowed.
behind that.
Yeah, I had to fight that I do not only sell their brand, but I have to incorporate those things that I want. And I have leather shoes. I take them from South Africa. I met a supplier in South Africa. So I have shoes that they produce and straight to South Africa. Only the leather shoes, and they're very affordable. So we have had shoes. Or hela house mo lot na industry. O khana go bona gore investors are good, but again they're not good, because when they come here to maximize profit. That is a business person, more so is an investor, right? Gorela gore o do ripa off everything se mo matsogong a rona. Yet na khona go tsaya go le go nyemme go ntse go le gontsi. So when I got into this industry, ke le go China, ke le go South Africa, like the whole of last year.
When you're doing your homework.
Yes, when I was doing my homework, I learned that, to be honest, rejelo tota. It's time for us re le Batswana gore re tsene mo industry. I want to believe gore most people think it's saturated, but it's not saturated by us. It ain't ours, you know it. It ain't ours. When are we rising to bring our own thing?
That's a very good point.
I've just begun a journey. I want to believe one Motswana would come. In the long run now, would have Batswana ba emela bare
let's do our own shops.
Yes, let's do our own factories. If we start by doing our own shops, at a later stage, we would have people now rising to do the manufacturing. We do have designers here in Botswana, but baruka mateisi manyalo mesisa manyalo hela. Why? Because ga gona go peko ba isante. So I want to believe if we can rise to open our own stores in large quantities. Somebody asked me a questionnaire, Thato, why do you want to start big? Why was a similar big is
relative, isn't it?
Do you know that is expensive? Yeah. It's expensive, to be honest. Because but it's not possible. Like I said to you, so I can't restock.
How many times a year they open for you?
They opened the whole of last year for me. So that
when is the next cycle? The opening.
We are on it now. Yes, we are going for sampling, production.
So what would you say are the pluses or the advantages of entrepreneurship so far, or the fruits thereof?
First of all, you are your own boss. That's the most important thing. And you do things according to your own heart desires. You know, functional. When you are born with a purpose. God calls you for a purpose here on earth. until you do what you are called for, you are never going to be happy. Now I am happy because I know I'm doing my own purpose that God has called me to do. Yes. Khala house mo law venture into business. Khalo we bileditswe. How we believe it's your calling. Even when a challenge is before you, you don't see it as a challenge. You see it. Something that is speeding up the reaction. There is nothing. It's don't worry. God is doing what He's doing best. If we see a challenge before us, everything is falling into place. And if you're thinking I'm joking, no, it went well. Just like that. When a challenge comes, you don't see it as a challenge. It's a hell of
I think from that you can safely say you are an inverse paranoid. In other words, you're a person you're opposite of paranoid. A person who's always positive about outcomes. Is that correct?
True that. True that.
How did you develop that characteristic or that trait?
I grew up in church. Then out to varsity. Then life is there is life. You know how we only receive the knowledge. The knowledge. You are imparted with knowledge. You are not given experience. So I'm out of my mom's house. That word life keeps on throwing and throwing and throwing stones. Now I have to take that word and hold on to it so that I don't die. I had to really. So that word kept on molding me. It would mold me and mold me. Can't like you when I say that's more but one numbers yeah. I had to develop that numbness or react on other things, but to wait upon God.
Wow, that is very good. It's a very powerful trait for successful entrepreneurship, the ability to do that, to compartmentalize, and then also to be the opposite of paranoid, like I said, which means you remain positive no matter what. That is very, very impressive. Now, what are your growth and expansion plans now?
Like I said now earlier on, we are going for sampling for Little Lovers in China. I have a team of mine that I'm carrying. In our agreement, we agreed that I do our own sampling. They bring out all the styles that we have chosen, and then I confirm quality at them. Is it the one that we want to bring to Botswana? So for that, I had to bring Botswana from here to go with me to go and do that.
Why can't you use technology and share on WhatsApp or via
no
Teams or something?
It's
you have to touch and feel.
It's about touching and feeling and to see. Okay, some things nedita begitla le gore ke se rata, but the quality is not the one that I want. So be bante tella gore no, for you, come choose what you want. Is it not
going to add unnecessarily to your overheads or to your expenses?
Not
if you have
really.
You have to buy aeroplane tickets for all these people.
It's my partner and I and mereki tota.
So three of you.
So it's the three of us. So no, I feel for material na ile go shopong about 2 days or 3 days ago. Ile hatsana go na bile ke sa itse tota abanthar wait for these people ba bothal kana letsela le ile teng mo Botswana mere re roka mostly ra kanya gore ke matsela a di beisana. But look at what it has made, and it was beautiful. So it means I have taken the rightful person to go and do this for me, because I cannot bana alem texture matsela.
Is he from that industry?
Yes.
Background is
yes.
Okay,
yes.
so you hired correctly.
Yes.
You got an industry
Yes.
expert.
Yes, sir. So re tebe re ya go dira production yaanong in mass. So this dealership comes ele stoko se sentsi. So I already have people by long gore they are ready to come and support me, to come and push stoko se se goroga. So that is where the expansion comes in. I wasn't even ke se sure gore would reach there ko re gorogile teng ka bonako. O mo ikla ntare no, don't allow that to happen now. Shopo ke gone leng ntsha. But when ha ke nna ha batsi kere, this is God. It's not my route. Tsela e ke tsamayang ha se ya me. E dirilwe ke modimo le gone gore ebe ba ntatetse ba ntha ba re ba kopa go nna le shopo ya me today. Ga se nna, it's them. So ha modimo a leteletse gore shopo e ka gola ka bokete jo bokalo, why should I stop it? So we are having 4 people coming into franchise shop e leng gone goroga weird. And they are ready.
You want to franchise them?
Yes.
How does that work?
Actually, stock se goroga se sentse tota. It's over 5 million. So they're buying in the franchise. What I did is we calculated all the expenses that we incur from our side, but they can't incur the same. They have to incur less because
So
there's
you
a
keep all
certain
these in
fee.
a warehouse or something?
Yes, there's a certain fee that they have to pay, and then we deliver to them. But there's another group on top of us of accounting that will be managing the whole product, the whole project. It's not me who will be managing it. It's just God. It's not me who wanted this to become what it is.
You're not thinking in terms of opening more stores. You'd rather have franchisees who you support as a franchisor or as a distributor.
How ka tsamaya ga boronothe go na le di boutique, I would say, right? And the reason why I allowed it to be franchised, I could see people ba batla go tsena mo kgwebong ye. It's not easy. Hey, it's difficult just to get the money, the whole financing thing. It's not an easy journey to get the contract, to persuade motho ka brand ja gagwe. You know, they even told me, Thato, when you feel like you've grown to the level that you want, we can remove you from our brand, but you can still have our styles for as long as you are under us, but have your own brand. It is rare for you to find somebody else who can nurture you that way. It's rare. But they gave me that conditional contract of saying, we are going to renew our contract according to your growth in Botswana. And they've given us half of Africa.
Wow.
The whole of Southern Africa, they've given us that. Go trade. Go open stores as much as you can. We'll support you. With this one, kana kona lady designer and stuff.
Yeah.
At least they do that for me.
Yes.
You bang khaoletse tiro e ntsi because ke gone go tiro e lentsi teng. So if I have them ili tiro a bone, I'm okay. Rona would come into the distribution part. That is what you are seeing all over Botswana actually. People leave Botswana to go and buy a name and bring it to Botswana. That's what they do.
Speaking of a name, what's the label called that you are most associated with?
You mean our brand?
Yeah.
Koshopo. We sell pet brand.
Which one?
Pet brand.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
yes,
Little Brand.
Little Lovers.
Little Lovers is a distributor of pet
brand.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Which encompasses all manner of clothes, as you said, from age 1 to age 14.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I even made them to venture into something they never knew they would go to.
Which is?
Mare kana nantse re lebeletse industry hela kana mkhorela re ha ile gore ya gonna shop e thokana le dio tse because I had to draft them how I want my shop to become. So ha ba lebella all those things le ditela ile gore hey ke dio tsentseng re sa khone go di dira because mind you, who would buy a stroller from us, who would buy Wakara from us. So they had to go to the other manufacturers to go and do partner designs. Yes, partner with them and do designs and send to me and say, do you approve? do you like this? So they keep on sending 1, 2, 3, 4, we are adding this, we are adding this just for you. Yes.
Well, as long as they don't mark up too much. Yeah. Now, the other thing I was going to ask you is about mentorship.
Yes, sir.
In entrepreneurship, in business, or in sports, one needs a mentor. One needs somebody to look up to, somebody who to test your ideas against, and to also learn from a distance. So who are your mentors, and what role has mentorship played in your life?
That one need to be a funny one. I don't have a mentor. Like, there's no one, to be honest. I don't want to lie. All these ideas, it's my brain. My brain works a lot. My lawyer was telling me the other day, you know what, you gotta bring your mind here so that, you know, your mind is always at work. Yeah, it is always at work.
No, but aren't there some people who influence you either indirectly through books or through podcasts, through reading and so on?
Yeah, Mogobe does. I watch a lot of this. I watch, like, literally. My partner, so that we can come and watch and listen. I remember that time when you invited a certain gentleman who was talking about land. How valuable land is. I had to pause. Yes, I even took the contact when we are now ready to go through, because we've been trying to really acquire land as much as we can. I told him, this is the person to go to. Yes, we learned a lot of things. Watching all this from Aponya, we do watch. We learn. It's quite a good thing that you are doing.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
so
sir.
I end up being indirectly a mentor there. Now,
if you are available, you should be my mentor, because I literally don't have a mentor, to be honest. I don't.
I do offer some form of mentorship, especially in the real estate space. If you're interested, you'll talk to my PA and we'll see whether you can join the next cohort. I think the next cohort is coming on the 17th of September. So maybe you can ask her about that, and if you're interested. Now, I want us to talk a little bit about the role faith plays in business. I'm saying this because throughout you mentioned God throughout this conversation. And you also mentioned, so I want to know, directly in your business, how do you bring in your faith in, and what role does it play?
He is my light. He is my way. You know, even if you can have your own thoughts, your own mind, your own plans, your own dreams, if it's not what God has about you, you will never see them come to pass. But I'm one person who always says, let the will of God in my life happen. Let it be done in my life. So I put God first, then me second. Because I want to believe He knew me before I was even born. So it means He knows my role, what I'm supposed to be doing. My life is it's just about God, to be honest. I've been through a lot, even to a point where I thought, this one I'll never come out of it. But I always come out, because I put my faith, my trust in God. I grew up in church, and God has always been my pillar, my strength. That's the only thing that gives me peace. Yes.
What's your favorite verse? Or do you have one?
Yes. In every situation that I go through, I quote it, and I believe that it is God who actually pushes me to it. Genesis, in the beginning there was the Word. The Word of God came to life because He spoke. So whenever there is a situation in my life, or whenever I want to go, I speak. I believe that everything before it manifests, you have to speak to it so that you push it, you give it a push.
You declare.
You declare. So that whole verse on its own, I don't take it lightly. I don't take it. Even when I pray, I said it, that when you created the heavens and the earth, you said let there be. So in my life, let there be. Let it come. I command. Sometimes we go through situations and we forget that we are the divine nature of God in us. We have God in us. It's there in us. We have the power to command things to become as we want, according to the plan of God. So when I know that I'm in the plan of God, I command. I say, God, let there be. And I'm still commanding that.
Okay.
Yes.
Mula, cash, money.
Yes.
Is there plenty of it in this business? Tell the youngsters out there who are interested, who may be interested. Is there cash?
When you start small, there's nothing. You spend more, a lot. And it will drain you. But when you go big, yeah, there is a lot of money. There is a lot of money. There is. Yes.
But it takes what? To make it takes what? Concentrated effort?
And a lot of money also. Yes. That one, I'm not going to lie about it.
We're talking millions or we're talking...
Yeah, millions. Yes, sir. You can't just start small and you expect big. Yes, you have to have big so that you have. So
it's a combination of money and concentrated effort, isn't it?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
All right.
There was a time I get to you know, so you gotta have.
Why?
I don't know. All neighbors no, 3. You know, so those are the challenges. One of them so those are the challenges that I found myself in. Hey, babereki, hey,
can do that.
Can yeah. It's not an easy one. I want to believe we for as long as we are an employer. Retailing, we have such problems. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, if you're looking 20-30 years, what would you tell us about brand Little Lovers or brand Thato Rosemary Sabokone? What does the crystal ball say about these two brands?
Yes, sir. I'll start with myself. Like I'm an entrepreneur. I love diversification. I don't love just sticking into one thing. I prefer, when I'm done with this one, moving into another one.
Wow.
So I believe in the next 20-30 years, you'd have probably little something else. You know, it will be something else. Because I just love diversification. I don't like sticking into one thing. Like I said to you, I'm a farmer. At the moment, we are almost done with deer. We are building an abattoir.
Who's deer?
Department of Environmental Affairs. Yes, we are almost done. So
you're doing an abattoir.
Yes, poultry abattoir. So I love diversification from one thing to the other for as long as God allows me. When God speaks, I follow.
Yeah.
Yes. And then for Little Lovers, like I said to you, it started early. I never thought it would begin now, me franchising, you know. I never thought I would be that person at the moment, but that is where we are heading to. We want to give Batswana that thing, have your own thing, really Batswana. You know, it is important. Is it hitile na kwa teng gore shop e tswe go etswang tebe ta Botswana e be go tere latele go ritise Botswana gape. It's what has been going on. That those times are gone. Let us open our own things, to be honest, and make sure that they grow. So for them to grow, you gotta give it to other Batswana. You can't run a race all one. More relaying,
yes, a baton.
A button, so that he keeps on running. Hello one, when I get suffocated, like. The person I'm going with go China is my aunt actually. So they very get hey, obereka yana kuriana. How are tana kwa lapeng like khona tswa mo ga broni ke a jwane ka 8. Thare ha wa lapa ke tsana go jwane ka 11. Ha wa lapa ngwana ka kira I'm so exhausted.
Debena bosigo.
Ke goroga go jwane ka 11. So how low one or another race? Hey,
can't make it.
Difficult. But at some point you have to start alone because mind you, but grace there are planters, the harvester. So
you are diversifying now.
Yes.
What about Little Lovers? What does 20-30 years say?
That's what I'm talking about. Hacker Little Lovers in the next 20-30 years.
Yeah.
It grew up too quickly, but that was my dream to see it all over the world, all over Africa.
I understand.
Yes.
Now is your chance to ask me a question if you have one.
I do have one. Yes. I want you to be very honest with me with this one.
As if I've been dishonest before.
No, not necessarily.
No, I'm joking.
Not necessarily. I want you to, and the part of beginning your journey, what was the most difficult or challenge that you had that likely made you to think of quitting, but you never quitted? Yes.
I think it always goes back to what I call the big events in my life. I use the word cataclysm to describe it. When I faced the threat of losing my license as a lawyer, and people took me to court to have me removed or suspended or whatever it was, and that was very life-threatening. But I never quit. I never quit the law. Instead, it added fuel to help me focus on another field, which is real estate. So I never looked back. So sometimes I feel as if those people, my detractors or my haters or whatever you want to call them, are good people, because without them I would never have focused in property. Yeah.
Okay, you've never become what you have become.
No.
Yes. Okay.
All right. As we conclude, I want you to look at that camera and say a few words of encouragement, words of inspiration as we wrap up to the viewer.
Dumela Motswana ko gae, dumela to everybody else wherever you're watching this. I know entrepreneurship is not an easy game to go on to, but if you feel like it's your own calling, it's what God has called you for, please keep on fighting and fight and fight. At a certain point you will reach the ultimate goal, because that is the important part. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's great. Share with them all your contacts, including the location of the shop.
Yes.
Please.
Our shop is located at Mogoditane 10 Right Mall along Khabane Road. When you are just going to Khabane, there's a mall on the left. It's at the 10 Right Mall. We are at shop 17. It's just called Little Lovers. And then we have a Facebook page. Please do follow us. Do like our page. It's called Little Lovers Botswana. If you want further information or in regard to our expansion, please don't hesitate. Contact me on my number 74164702 and my WhatsApp number 76425248. Please don't hesitate. Visit our store. Keep on asking for stock because definitely it's gonna be here very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You've done a great job. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget. Thank you very much.
Thank you.